Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Manning Field here in Lynn, Massachusetts. I'm your announcer from Lynn Educational Television, bringing you some more GBL soccer as the Lady Bulldogs face off against the Lady Highlanders. Boy, howdy, what a great afternoon. After a long, wet weekend and a shallow, a lot of moisture early on in the week, we're here to watch a nice sunny game. Our camera guys might not be too psyched as the sun is setting, but certainly a better day for soccer. The nights and days are getting chillier as we progress further and further to the soccer season. Lynn English hosting your number 2 seed out of the GBL, number 2 only to Medford. English starting off a little bit slow on the get-go. Shot goal! Right from the get-go. Somerville doing the work. And we'll get a number on you real quick. So 1-0 early on here in the first minutes of the first half. Scoring on the goal, Shizuko Petrosky Harris, number 21, putting in the work. And the Highlanders coming out strong, catching Quezada a little bit lackadaisical to go. We'll go to the half mark for the kick, and English is underway. Second time these teams are facing off today. English coming in off of a loss to Everett, 2-0. Next game for English is going to be versus Classical next week right here at Manning Field. Somerville coming off of a loss to Medford, 2-1 loss. And that keeps them stale at the number 2 position in the GBL. So your number 10 seed facing off against your number 2 seed. Next game for the Highlanders, this is going to be versus Everett. So as we get things rolling right here, you can see most of the possession game being put into place and the work being done by the Highlanders. Kick across, and that one sneaks across the crease, and luckily for Quezada, one of the defenders was there to knock it away. Shot from way outside, gobbled up by Quezada. Or Quezada, the senior captain. A boot there received well by Somerville, not the intention. Somerville on the push again. 3v1 situation. Defense retreating a little bit, trying to close the lanes. On the move, a lot of back and forth. Good ball control by the Highlanders. Able to get one in front. And gobbled up by Quezada with a little bit of help to slow down any shot attempt. Good heads-up play by the defender out of Lynn English. Wearing number 19, Linda De Leon. And Somerville tries for another shot about 15 to 20 yards out, wide left. And Quezada collects it from the side and surveys the field. And Quezada going to let a defender take that one. The boot coming from Halen Romero. Romero, a big part of the defense here for the Bulldogs this season. And first time we're seeing that cross that half mark into Somerville territory. Highlanders doing what they can to create some space and open up some lanes. And they're moving at will closer and closer to Quezada. Shot attempt there coming from number 7 out of Somerville, Camilla Plata, a captain in her junior year. And that one sails past the retreating defense of Somerville. Somerville first to get there. Had about a 10-yard start as Crystal Romero was working to catch up to that one. And great triangle formation defensively for Somerville as they're able to spread out the defense. Good heads-up play there by Romero to knock that one out. Allow the English defenders to get in position. Another opportunity here for Somerville to cross the crease. English's defense reluctant to allow it to happen. They clear that one out. Closer and closer. Somerville trying again. High shot over Quezada's head. And the second goal of the game. And we'll see who that one's going to go to once we get you a number. So that goal is going to be attributed to Annabelle Schneider, wearing number 11. The sophomore out of Somerville. Getting some points onto the board. So 2-0 as we approach the 35th minute, or rather, I think 5th minute in soccer, right? 35 minutes left on the clock here in the first half. Everett, an interception, moving down, closer and closer. Good job by the defender out of Somerville to cut her off. And great heads-up play there by number 22 out of Somerville, Angela Brito-Ka. An attempt to try to push further into Highlanders territory, squandered by the Somerville defense. A little bit of back and forth. Camilla Plata hands it off. Takes the shot. And they're trying to catch Quezada out of position. And quick to gobble it up. Goes with a punt. And high. And just takes a bad bounce off of Ava Jones, a senior out of English. The throw-in coming from number 4, Irvi Gokale. And the Somerville defense retreats back into their own territory in order to open up a couple of lanes and draw in some of those defenders from English. English now at a little bit of a disadvantage. Somerville slower to move up the field. And the left lane cut off by incoming defenders for English. A little bit of Deke. Showing the moves to get past one. Takes the shot, bounces off the defender. Another shot attempt there by Annabelle Schneider. Couldn't get a hold on that one. Way wide left. And that one's going to head to the starting line of the 100-yard. Quezada going to allow Romero to try her luck at the long kicks. And that one falls a little bit short. Stolen away by Everett pretty quick. Mika Janks there on the interception. Somerville further into English territory. Camilla Plata hands it off, or rather passes it off. And a boot coming from Janelise Reyes, the sophomore out of English. Knocks that one out of bounds and asks Somerville to give it another shot. Just about to slide out of bounds. Somerville quick to move it down field back into their own territory. Again, trying to draw in those English defenders. And English running amok all over the field. Somerville doing a great job at making most of their movement happen on the ground with the feet. Somerville defender hands it off to number 9 out of Somerville, Anika Johnson. (2-0) in favor of Somerville, one of the top seeds in the GBL. And shot attempt there, wide right. Quezada will come up and line it up at the top of the key this time. So Quezada, the goalkeeper, in pink today. Goes with a kick. Stolen away and influenced back into possession by Somerville. Bit of back and forth. Somerville doing a good job at spreading out the English defenders. Stolen away by Lynn English's very own number 21. And that's Rose Zapata. Closer and closer, an opportunity here for Somerville, squandered by the English defense, knocked away to the adjacents of Quezada. 2v1 situation in favor of Lynn English. Left all alone, Anika Johnson. Not much she could do there. Knocked out of bounds by the defenders from Lynn English. And the throw-in will be from Somerville. And a bit of a line change here. And throwing in for the Highlanders, wearing number 26, Georgia Cook. English closes in on Johnson, forces her to pass that one out. Stolen away, influenced by English. English trying to move it further and further into territory. Good heads-up play by Rose Zapata to move that one across the 50. An opportunity for a fast break squandered by the Somerville defense. Somerville closer and closer. Coming in, the shot against Quezada. Sails past her on the left-hand side. And the third goal of the game going to Somerville. And a great effort to be in the right place at the right time by the Somerville striker, who's wearing number 20. And that's Avery Baldwin, a junior out of Somerville High School. So 3 goals all around shared between 3 players of the Highlanders. Everett with the kickoff from the half mark. The boot. That one sails across the half mark here. Somerville the first to touch. And the English defense got to do a better job of trying to get in front of these guys and slowing them down, pushing them towards the outside perimeter of the field. And Rose Zapata, big part of the defensive effort close to the half mark for much of the game. A few steals. Far side of the field. Wearing number 3, trying to advance. Sarah Pak. The shot to Quezada, no good. And a boot reaches reaches Jones quickly. Somerville showing a lot of defense and good coaching at not trying to advance too quickly without somebody on the adjacent to help out. And I think that's really what's doing it for English, is they're finding the defenders split between 2. Annabelle Schneider passes it off. Opportunity to move further and closer. Squandered. And that one coming from, I believe, number 21 out of Somerville. And we'll get you a definitive on that right now. So 4-0 early on in this one. And that'll be the second goal of the day for Shizuko Petrosky-Harris, sophomore out of Somerville. Somerville coming to this one with a record of 10-4, sitting at the number 2 seed. And in the number 1 seed for the GBL is Medford yet again. And we're just about halfway through the first half here. Somerville coming off of a 2-1 loss to Medford earlier this week. Next game, they've got Everett. English, your number 10 seed, working to get into the 2-win column. Their first win coming against Lynn Tech. And English walking away with a 3-2 victory over the Tigers. Next game for Lynn English is the big one. Second matchup between the Lady Rams and the Lady Bulldogs. Thanks for tuning in to Lynn Educational Television. I'm your announcer, Sean Donahue. If you're watching on our YouTube page, please like, subscribe, smash that notification bell for all the up-to-date sports and events happening right here in the city of Lynn. I want to say thanks to our crew. We got Rebecca and Zach up in the perch bringing you these smooth and steady shots. If you're watching on our Comcast and Verizon channels, we always like to say thanks to you guys for your subscription. Without you, we wouldn't be able to teach television media at both the middle school and high school levels to all grades in between. Also gives us an opportunity to get some of our student body working experience before they graduate in their 12th year of public education, padding the sats, so to say. And after the timeout, we'll head back to the half for the kickoff. And English going to lead this one after Petrosky Harris's second goal of the day. So Coach Pat breaks the huddle with the Bulldogs, and they return back to the game. 4-point deficit for the Bulldogs early on here. And we'll see what they put together for a game plan. Bulldogs can't be trying to run after that ball every time it's passed. These guys are going to be tired quick, and I think that's really what you're seeing. The kickoff from English, pushed back over, and the English offense pushing into Somerville territory, reluctant to advance any further. First time we're seeing Beatrix Calvert get her hand and feet on the ball. Goal keep out of Somerville. And there it is again. You see Somerville working and slowing down once they've got a player at their adjacent. And the Bulldogs taking the bait, find themselves in a good lane there. And some superior footwork allows Somerville to push further and further on their advance. A little bit of back and forth. Now Camila Plata with it. Passes that one off, has one in front. An opportunity to get that one across the crease. Good job by the Highlanders not going off sides here. And Annabelle Schneider looking for the shot, disciplined enough not to take it. Another one. Wide right. And Avery Baldwin looking to catch up to Petrosky Harris. One goal on the day so far. Takes a shot there, misses wide right. And certainly disappointed with it. Quezada's pass reaches where she wanted it to. English now on the push. And working to just get it downfield. Not a solid attempt to try to find any players in the right top crossbar. That shot coming from far out, just about 20 yards or so. And Quezada gobbles that one up and surveying the field on how she'll get it back into play for the Bulldogs. And what a screamer of a shot. Coming from across the way, and we can't get a number on it. English again. Trying to advance upfield. Crystal Romero's attempt put to a stop by the Somerville Highlanders. Throwing coming here. English with a few in front. Jayliana Concepcion doing the work to try to stop it. Stems that advance. Janelise Reyes, one of the last to touch. Good boot across the half mark. And this 1-3 defensive setup has been detrimental to any advance by the Bulldogs. Another kick there by Halen Romero bounces off of a fellow Bulldog. Somerville retreating again, trying to find some open lanes and keep the Bulldogs running. Bulldogs got a short bench, so we'll see a lot of substitutions, I'm sure, from both teams today. Stolen away by number 21, Rose Zapata. And a great defender. Improvement every single year, every time we see her. This time, Somerville retreating all the way to Calvert. Quick to get back onto the move and trying to lead, just finding her a little bit out of place. Anika Johnson, the intended player on the pass there. Somerville defense getting right back to work. Couple players on the adjacent, decides to go towards the middle of the field. Jayliana Concepcion fighting for it. Getting Halen Romero in a good position to knock that one back into Somerville territory. Calvert picks that one up. Not too much on the survey. Decides to go far side of the field. And we'll see how the Highlanders move the ball up on the far end of the field. So far, so good. 2v1 situation here. Mahoney elects to pass that one back off. And the 2v1 situation against English, rather, knocked away by the Highlanders. And the substitution coming in. And I believe Angela Brito-Ka is on the field yet again. And who's going to inbound it? Big discussion across the way. English on the inbound. English now with an opportunity to advance. And a half-strength shot attempt squandered by the Somerville defense results in Calvert picking that one up and putting it back into play. Somerville doing a good job at keeping their defensive relationship from any oncoming defenders. And Romero again on the boot. Give the Bulldogs an opportunity to move further and further in position. That one's going to roll out. And Calvert going to have to take the hike to get that one. And a large change in substitution. 5 players coming on, 5 players coming off. And Somerville putting some fresh legs onto the field. Somerville on the move, vies downfield anytime they're in their own territory. Bulldogs taking the bait on the chase game. It's going to cause these guys to get tired real quick. And a lot of passing back and forth as we see some of the fresh legs and younger players on the field for Somerville. If you're just joining us, you're watching GBL Soccer. Number 10 seed Lynn English hosting the number 2 seed Somerville. Somerville putting the works on Lady Bulldogs 4-0. That one gobbled up by Quezada, the boot downfield. And a few Bulldogs in position to receive. Not received as cleanly as Quezada wants. Now English back on the defensive front. Trying to find a lane, and Lynn English's Genelise Reyes making that a little bit harder and harder. Fighting for it again. This time, Leela Mahoney on the battle to advance. Somerville retreating back into their own territory in order to create a little bit of space and draw out some of these defenders from English. Stolen away by number 12, the senior Alejandra Guerreva. Not bad for an Irish guy. Moving upfield, stolen away, back, and stemming that attempt at a shot. Crystal Romero doing the work defensively for the Bulldogs. A high kick there results in some movement further into Highlanders territory. And the Highlanders trying to slow things down and keep the composure that got them to 4 so early on in this one. Somerville finds a lane well open, nobody there to receive. So the throw-in going to come from the far side. And Reyes, I think, will be tasked with that responsibility. And should go the length of the field. Alejandra, senior out of Lynn English, there on the reception. Somerville putting the work back in. A great job by Crystal Romero to stem that one. And Romero giving us our money's worth up here in the booth. Marianne Bride had an opportunity to move further into the lane, and Romero closes the gap. Romero on the boot. Gets it across the 50. 2v2 situation down low. That one off of English. Somerville to inbound from their own territory. The throw-in quick. And a good lane there, just not far out enough. And English putting in the work to find better placement, moving further and further upfield. Alejandra Guerra showing up more and more on my radar, far side of the field. Stolen away by number 21, Rose Zapata. Trying to influence that one back. And screaming across the field, Zapata again. Hands that one off to Reyes. A 2v1 situation. And Zapata has got a motor on her. Not much doing near side of the field, right across the 50. If she's there. Ramiro on the throw-in. Stolen away by number 18 out of Somerville, Leela Mahoney. Marianne Bride has an opportunity, able to get past one. On the solo, and it crosses the crease. Nobody's there. Well, people were there for it. Might have thought it would have rolled in. But luckily for Quezada, we didn't see it happen. Rhea is now on the move, able to get past one. Emma Loonsberry out of Somerville. And a bit of a scrum. Somerville walks out with it, slows things down, and there she is again, Crystal Ramiro on the push. And a good back and forth between Ramiro and Zapata. Sun now working for it. Gets that one up to Reyes. Reyes with two on. Moving across, nice little move there by number 13, Josefina Mian. A nice move there by number 18, Leela Mahoney. High bounce. Still in Somerville possession. Somerville having to put a little bit more footwork into their advance as English is bringing the noise defensively. Able to get past one, knocked back into play. An opportunity here at a shot squandered by the English defense as they push that one back out of play. And one in front, number 21, Rose Pata, caught up to. Ends up in Reyes' possession, stolen away by Gokale, the freshman out of Somerville. And Zapata with another opportunity there. 2v1 situation, now 2v3. Somerville has the space where they feel comfortable on passing. And a boot reaches the half mark. And English now with an opportunity to move. Feel as though they got to retreat. Reyes there's like, why you give me the ball here? Let me advance. Reyes says, we're going to take another shot at this. Give me the rock. Passes off to Sun. Sun has it stolen away. Somerville on the push again. English has got to be quick to get back into defensive position. Ramiro's all over the place. She's a kid that you expect. And where's Ramiro? Oh, here she comes in the frame, trying to knock that one away. Big part of this team, more and more. Crystal Ramiro, senior, who'll surely be missed. And English now trying to just survive. Ramiro knocks that one up as far, hoping that it'll find a fellow Bulldog. Crosses the 50, forces the Somerville defense to retreat. A little bit of back and forth. Mahoney Still on the fight for it. Halen Romero comes up, knocks that one back out. And a fast break opportunity here. Somerville has an opportunity for it. Takes a shot wide left. And we'll see who the shot came from while Quezada retrieves the ball. And Samara Ben Kaihat. If you're watching, kid, I'm sorry I butchered the name. I'm going to do my best to sound this one out at halftime for you. But great shot opportunity there. Shirley didn't get all the legs she wanted on it. And the throw-in, long side of the field, knocked out by Somerville. And Everett Jaliana Concepcion will pass the responsibility of throwing it in to Jenelise Reyes. Somerville back on the push again. Just about 7 minutes left here in the first half. Somerville with a leading command, 4-0 over Lynn English. And knocked away. English now on the push. Reyes, the sole player down, has a little bit of help to her. Jason takes the shot. That one gobbled up by Calvert. And forces the Lady Bulldogs to retreat back into defensive territory. Rolls that one out. And a high boot. Romero able to get to it. And she's got a Highlander right on her. Stands up and sticks in there. The other Romero, Crystal, comes in to help out. Calvert with the boot. Romero sends it back. Angela Brito-Ka getting in on the mix in Somerville territory. And now English just almost finding themselves way out of defensive position. And this Halen Romero, the sophomore out of Lynn English, doing the work defensively yet again. Somerville on the inbound near side of the field. Brito-Ka influences that further into Somerville territory. The defenders from Somerville doing a good job at creating some space. English fighting for it. And able to get past one. That one rolls out of bounds. Madeline Sun had an opportunity there. Just didn't get the footing on it she wanted. Lost possession as it rolls out. The inbound coming near side of the field. across the way. And Somerville forced to do a little bit more work on the ground as English is quick to keep coming up. Crystal Ramiro on the inbound near side of the field, just about at the half mark. Ramiro surveying, trying to figure out where the help is. Tries to get that one over to Reyes. And Reyes can't get a clean handle on it. Somerville to inbound now. Brito Ka making it a little harder. And looks like the last touch came from the Bulldogs. 3v1 situation. Somerville forced to get it back into defensive position in order to maintain possession. And now on the move, number 45, who I don't see on my roster. Coming up for it, and Quezada boots that one further than we've seen. Bump back into play. Off of the chest of number 20, Avery Baldwin. Baldwin with a goal already. Reyes rumbling and stumbling across the way, far side of the field. Throw in quick. Right at the 3-minute mark here in the first half, 4-0. And English becoming a lot more active here in Somerville territory. Thanks to Ramiro and Ramiro. Reyes a big part of it as well. Brito Ka showing up on my radar a little bit more and more. Halen Ramiro with the footwork to get past two. Brito Ka with two in front. Keeps the play alive. Somerville on the push again. Enough lead room to get to her right on time. Trying to get it across the adjacent. Knocked away by the English defense. And Brito Ka fighting for it. Annabelle Schneider passes it on. Coming in front, trying to find a little bit of space. And leaves it out in hopes that it could be cleaned up by a fellow striker. Ortega knocks that one out. Gives the Lady Bulldogs an opportunity to retreat. And we got the final 2 minutes in stoppage time on the clock. Maintains possession, able to get past one. Sang needs to retreat. And a shot from way outside. Making it look easy. Somerville scores their 5th goal of the game. And pretty much from the parallel. So we'll get you a number on it. I know she scored already today. Or maybe it's her first of the day. And that goes to number 7. So Camilla Plata gets onto the board. 5-0. Somerville over English. The kickoff was short and sweet. And as we approach the conclusion of the first half, we'll get you the score from the scoreboard. 5-0. Somerville over English. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back. Start of the second half. Kicking off is going to be Lynn English to start it up. 5-point deficit for the Lady Bulldogs to dig themselves out of. Number 10 seed in the GBL, hosting number 2, only to Medford. And Lynn English trying to get back into this one. The name of the game, improvement. Any discussions that I've had with Coach Papp has always talked about that. The defensive effort by the Lady Bulldogs has improved more and more each game. Scoring is the next task. Somerville doing a great job of controlling much of this game offensively. Not afraid to retreat in order to draw some defenders. And the last goal that we saw coming off of the foot of the junior captain, Camilla Plata. Holy smokes. She's pretty much right at the score line. And hooks one in over Quezada. Corner kick far side. Knocked away by Halen Romero, a name that we see popping up on our radar often. Far side of the field for another corner kick attempt. And surveying. Somerville gets it started. Trying for a header. And it rolls off the back of one of the Somerville players just a little further left of that goal. Quezada getting another prayered answer. And it looks like it rolled off of the back of an English player. So Somerville taking the hike. And here comes the sun. Zach, our camera guy from Lynn English, psyched about it, as he's going to have to get his face closer to that LCD screen. Make sure we got the ball in frame for you. So we'll go to the near side of the field for the corner kick. And knocks that one close. Somerville fighting for it. And English trying to push it out. Romero able to influence it. And Romero says, let's get rid of that one for now. Allow the girls to retreat back in on defense. And hey, look who's wrong again about the soccer game, Mr. Donahue. Romero on the throw-in, far side of the field. She'll go the length. 2v1 situation. And Somerville doing the work to get in front. Not shy about throwing some bows. Somerville on the push again. Shot. Gobbled up by Quezada. And Quezada going to come to the top of the key for this one. He barks out her orders and sends it. Somerville giving up a little space to gain a little bit of space. Madeline's son doing the work to stop the advance. And the throw-in coming from the far side right at about the half mark. Giving a little to get a little. Been the name of the game for Somerville. Drawing out some of those defenders. English not biting as much as they were in the first half. Somerville on the push again. Able to get past one using passing. A shot attempt there. Put to rest by Kareem Rodriguez-Aguilan. Somerville on the push one again. Able to get past one. Takes the shot wide right. Anika Johnson on that one. And Quezada coming up to the top of the crease for this one. Influences that one, the right-hand side. Not exactly where she wants it. Johnson now fighting for it. Retreating to get a little bit of space. Knocked back towards Somerville territory by the English defense. English with a 2v1 situation. Knocks that back off to the defender wearing number 6, Anika Pearson. Pearson looks to her adjacent for some help. Able to get past one. Somerville on the move across the half mark again. Halen Romero trying to get to it in time. Just a little bit too early. And Crystal Romero now hunting for it. Somerville able to keep it into play. Romero going to have an opportunity to give it a boot. That one rolls out of bounds, far side of the field. Avery Baldwin with it on the inbound. Stolen away by English. Lynn English's very own Jayliana Concepcion making it happen. Somerville reluctant to allow the advance any further. And we'll go to the far side of the field. And we should have a throw in right at about the 15-yard mark. But we got a retreat for the ball. Romero a little gassed after having to get the rock. Going with the throw in, I'll take it, no problem. Let's go to the length of the field. Go get it. Angelo Brito Ka, I think the intended player on the throw in. Somerville putting in the work yet again, giving a little to get a little. And the Highlanders doing a good job at drawing defensive players. Angela Brito Carr on it again, slowing things down for the Highlanders. Closer and closer into territory. Quezada a little nervous, as they almost had another 1v1 situation. And these Highlander girls can score. It doesn't matter really where they are. Seen a couple of shots from the 15-yard line. These guys might be able to do double duty and punt for the Highlanders football team. Aura Quezada on the boot. Somerville fighting for it. 3v1 situation in favor of English. Somerville has to retreat in order to get a little bit of space. Draws out a few more defenders. Goes the far side of the field. Ramiro fighting for position over there. Halen Ramiro there to back her up. Ramiro boots it, hoping for the sideline. Knocked back into play by the Highlanders. Angelo Brito Ka going to be one of the first to get to the touch. Can she get position in front? No. Highlanders advancing. Concepcion says, not so fast. English able to influence that one further upfield. Somerville, defense, right in a position for the interception. Avery Baldwin with the rock. Already a goal on today. Annalise Reyes coming in to put the pressure on. Reyes again. 2v1 situation. Passes that one off to Brito Ka. Brito Ka fighting for it. Gets tripped up. And gets the call from the ump across the way. Or ref. What do you guys call your officials? Officials. We'll say that. A different world for a young Irish guy like me. I don't know if I could say I'm young anymore. This December I'll be hitting the big 4-0. But certainly one of the youngest announcers in LETV. I'll take that. Steven, I think, takes the cake. He's usually the guy you see for these games. And this is his week off. He's taking some time to chill, catch up on his math and English homework. Probably not. He's got it all done. It's been done for the whole year. Great kid. Love you, Steven. Back to the soccer game. And Somerville on the push here, catching English way out of place. Moving further and further into territory. Has an opportunity here. Trying to get some cleanup. And Aura Quezada coming up and retrieves that ball. Put a stop to it. And Samara Ben-Kaihat was licking her chops on that one. Quezada close, a little slow to get up. Gets a little love from Halen Romero. Jumps right back into things. Somerville on the push again. Everett. Lynn English. Trying to stem the advance. Casey Pohl. Looking for some help on the adjacent. Just a little far. Out of reach. And a large line substitution. 3 coming on, 3 coming off for the Somerville Highlanders. English is going to send 2 off and 2 on. And those are some big names. Crystal Romero and I believe Ava Jones coming off for the Lady Bulldogs. Inbound. Received well. Somerville looking to the adjacents on the pass. Good ball movement. Great footwork. Able to advance a little bit further into English territory. 1 in front. Has to create a little bit of space on the perimeter of the field. Trying to get it into the crease. Knocked away by 2 English defenders. Another shot opportunity knocked away by the English defense. The boot, the length of the field, knocked back into English territory by the Highlanders. And right time, right place. Number 22. Shizuko Petrosky-Harris, 2 goals on the day so far. So she's a danger to have onto the field. Somerville retreats into their own territory, trying to create a couple of lanes, draw the English defense in. They're able to do so successfully. Do they have the footwork to get past 2? And Halen Romero putting an end to that advance. Somerville right back to about the half mark. And hoping to get back to work. Concepcion trying to stem any advance. Somerville quick to use their territory to create a little bit of space and find better positioning. Highlanders advance further and further. Great tracking by Zach, our camera guy, to keep that one in play. Far side of the field, 2 in front, passes off to an adjacent. Halen Romero comes up. Influences it enough to get Jayliana Concepcion on it. Somerville still inching further and further to Quezada. And a lot of palms to the sky, wondering what the call is. So the inbound gonna come from the far side corner, or rather Aura Quezada. And Quezada lines it up, surveys downfield. Where's it gonna go? And Somerville doing a little bit of schooling on the box out. Concepcion fighting for it. Stems that. Advance a little bit, but not enough. Ingrid Wilson now on the move. Last to touch it for Somerville. Rolls off of an English defender. And Somerville going to go to the corner for the kick. Camilla Plata on the corner kick. Somerville bringing a few more up. Kick coming in. It's got the spacing. Shot attempt high and up and over the crossbar. And if you need lottery tickets bought, make sure you contact Aura Quezada. Once she's 18, the kid's got the luck. So if you're looking for a winning ticket, she's the one to go into the store and make the purchase for you. Of course, when she's of legal age to be able to purchase lottery tickets. What a weird thing to say. But she's had a lot of luck these past few games, and any goalkeeper will tell you sometimes it's better to be lucky than it is to be good. But Aura Quezada brings both to the table. English defense improving more and more each game. May not seem so today. Somerville coming off, starting strong, 5-0 right now. Here as we advance further in to the second half, and a break offers an opportunity for a shot. English coming in and trying to stem this advance. That one bounces off of a player and then another player. Bang, bang. And a bang, bang play results in a lot of seated Bulldogs and Highlanders. And she needs a little bit of extra time. And we'll pull our frame out and give you an opportunity. Check out beautiful Manning Field as the training staff comes out. Service our visiting GBL rival, the Somerville Highlanders. And one thing is that Coach Papp does a good job at coaching up these Lady Bulldogs to show the utmost of sportsmanship. Or at least that's the way it seems from up here. Thanks for tuning in to Lynn Educational Television. If you're watching on our YouTube page, please like, subscribe, smash that notification bell for all the up-to-date sports and events happening within the Lynn Public Schools District. I'm your announcer today, Sean Donahue, filling in for Stephen Galvin Jr., one of our best and brightest. Thanks to our crew from English coming up, bringing you these smooth and steady shots from the perch. Zach and Rebecca earning it today as the sun sets. The chill comes in. Quezada with the boot up high. Probably enough to get up and over that public storage roof. English now, advancing further into Somerville territory. Kerry Rivera, the junior out of English, finding herself crossing that half mark a little early. Somerville defense kicks it into play. An advance here for Somerville. Somerville with one in front, takes the shot, and right across the way in the crease is an adjacent Highlander, just a little out of reach to clean up the cross. So Aura Quezada going to get this one back into play on the top of the crease. Just about halfway through the second half here. 5-0 in favor of the Highlanders, your number 10 GBL seed, hosting the number 2 GBL seed. Top seed in the league is Medford. English defense slows that one down, and the tenacious advance by the Somerville Highlanders just seems endless today. Somerville doing a good job at playing the 2v2. Ervico Kale passes that one off over to Sarah Park. And out of bounds. Going to result in an inbound in favor of Somerville. And the English defense quick to collapse in. 3v1 situation forces that one over to Park. And working for it again. Number 9, Anika Johnson. Back to Pac up top. Down low. Camilla Plata with the ball. Takes a shot. Already has a goal today. Bounces up off of the toe of Aura Quezada. And out of play. Corner kick near side of the field. And Camilla Plata going to try to put this one on point for a header. And outside off the back of the net. And gets a little extra breeze. So English able to stem another score. Under 20 minutes here in the first half. And Quezada knocks that one up. And gets it to Reyes. Reyes now fighting for it. Somerville doing a good job at boxing out. Madeline Sun trying to come up and help out. Able to get past 2. Somerville now on the push again. Shot attempt wide left. And maybe she was just trying to get it out in front just a little bit too far out in front. And Quezada's got to take the trek to get the rock. And we'll probably have an additional 15 minutes of stoppage time here in this one today. So if you're a big fan of GBL soccer, stick around. Or Quezada lines it up from the top of the box. Takes a boot, looking to the sidelines for a little bit of help. And Crystal Romero, a good one to try to get it to. Right time, right place. English able to influence it further into Somerville territory. Somerville doing a good job at recognizing the lanes. Eyes are upfield. And Shizuko Petrosky Harris on the push again. Already has 2 goals on the day. Annabelle Schneider trying again. Passes that one off to Layla Mahoney. Goes for the shot. Wide right. And that's Anika Johnson yet again. Johnson hungry for a goal. Hoping to find it here in the second. But that girl, Aura Quezada, has got something different to say about that. The kick low and not exactly where she intended. Right back into play. And Anika Johnson might get her opportunity again. Knocks that one back to Annabelle Schneider. Schneider gets it over to Leila Mahoney. To Pac. Somerville advancing further and further. Shot attempt there, knocked away by Romero. Shot attempt gobbled up by Aura Quezada. And Quezada approaching double digits on saves. Long boot. Received well by Somerville. Not enough leg on it. to get it where she wanted. And Ramiro gets deked to the left-hand side. Shot coming off Quezada on trying to make the attempt. And Somerville quick to come in and try to clean it up. And Leela Mahoney trying to serve up a shot. Fell a little shallow. Anagia. Rajbanshi trying to smoke a goal right past Aura Quezada. No luck. 2v2 situation. Knocked away by Concepcion. Somerville still fighting for it. Maintaining possession. Mahoney passes it off. Shot attempt. Off the top crossbar. Bounces right in. And goal scorer on that one, we're in number 21. Shizuko Petrosky Harris. 3 on the day. And Leela Mahoney is the one who set her up. Did they give her the goal? No goal. There was no goal. Never mind. Sorry for the shout out. Looked a lot like one. Here's another opportunity. 2 on the day so far. Able to get past one. Serves it back up. Gets it in front. Off the top. Or rather the bottom of the field goal crossbar. And I think that's what happened last time, is it fell in that little gap. Quezada lines it up. Surveying downfield, trying to find the open gap. And the English defense says, hey, let's get this out of here. Concepcion knocks it out of bounds, forces the inbound. Somerville quick to make it happen. Mahoney first to receive it. Knocked into a slew of English defenders. Mahoney again. Passes over to Annabelle Schneider. Schneider has a goal already so far. Another boot back and forth. Mahoney passing off to Petrosky Harris. And a boot coming off of the foot of Halen Ramiro. Stopped short by a Highlander head. Petrosky Harris working to get inside. Once again, 3v1 situation. Playing the lanes. Takes a shot wide right. And looking for her third there. And a large substitution coming in off of the bench for English. 5 on and 5 off. Yeah, I think Zach is trying to fix up the tripod and level this shot for you. What's going on over there, Zach? Back to the game. And a little bit of back and forth. Mahoney comes in to keep the play alive. Shot attempt here, up high and over the crossbar. And Aura Quezada. Happy that guy's back there to send it back in. And Quezada Gonna get the touch. Right over to Crystal Romero. Romero with the boot. Not enough distance on it to get it too far into play. Mahoney, with nobody in front, passes off to the adjacent. Right back to Mahoney. And Somerville's got the lanes all game. Trying to draw out these English defenders and force another substitution from the bench. Boots it down. That one rolls out. See the inbound from Somerville. The throw in to Mahoney. Booted back. Closer to Somerville territory. Not enough leg on to get it further past that 40. Reyes stems the advance, but not enough. And that one will roll off of English. And we'll see a corner kick, far side of the field. The kick up and high. An opportunity here for Mahoney. Takes a shot, knocked away. Another shot knocked away by the English defense. Mahoney keeping it alive, playing at the midfield position. Somerville with 3 in front. English knocks it out. Says do the work to get back inside yet again. 5-0 here. And just about 8 minutes on the clock. Mahoney working to get back into a comfortable position. Passes off to the adjacent. 1 in front, able to sneak it past. English still fighting for possession here. A shot attempt knocked away by Aura. Quezada. And Quezada coming out. And able to get that one past the Highlanders. Catches those defenders sleeping. As well as some offensive players. And a push call against Somerville in favor of Crystal Romero. And Romero takes a lot of shots out there. All right. So Romero will walk off the field on her own strength. So that's good news for the Lady Bulldogs. She's a huge part of their defensive effort. So we're at about the 45-yard mark. Nearer side of the field. And I'm not sure it was Romero who came off, because she's about to kick off for us. So it looks like number 18 out of English, Kalia Don, or rather, no, not on the roster. Mahoney doing the work to get past a slew of English defenders. And good news for the Lady Bulldogs is Romero's still out there. Halen Romero steals it away, moving it up the length of the field. Has 1 in front. She got the skill set to get past. Gives it a boot. That one will sail out of bounds. Far side of the field. And quick on the inbound. Somerville's ready to go. right where she intended it. Maybe not the best placement. That one off of the Highlanders. English now. Inbounding. London Sang going to be tasked with that responsibility. Screaming in, English defender, offensive player, trying to make it work. And who else? Yeah, Crystal Romero. Love watching this kid play. Scoop up there by Calvert. Calvert might be cramping up. I haven't seen a lot of action this half. Boots that one down. Puts my insinuation to rest. 2v1 situation, trying to create a little bit of space. And Concepcion takes 2 solid whacks at it. Somerville says, I'm not trying to get hit in the head after you kick it. Mahoney with 2. Able to get past them. Pushes that one off. Halen Romero coming up to stem the advance by Somerville. And a collision of collisions, the mid. Both players a little slower to get up. And that could be because of the temperature. It is plummeted as that sun sets over Pine Grove Cemetery. Romero going to be the first to get the touch after the call from the refs. And she decides to pass off to the adjacent. English boots it into Somerville territory. Somerville now trying to find the open lanes, able to get past a few. Pushing it across the half mark. Romero able to retreat back into position defensively. Fighting for a far side of the field. Marianne Bride. Bride in a bit of a battle. Crystal Romero. So Bride's attempt squandered. And it rolls out of bounds after her touch. We'll go to Aura. Quezada for the inbound, knocks it over to the adjacent. Hoping to get a boot. That's not a good foot on the ball. Somerville trying to get back to work offensively. Mahoney does a good job at keeping it in play for the Highlanders. Head coach Tony Arias showing off a little bit of foot skill. That one off of Somerville. Or Quezada, yet again, from the box. Final 5 minutes in stoppage time on this one. I think it's fair to say that Somerville's probably going to walk away with a victory. 5-0 deficit for the Lady Bulldogs. Somerville has to win as many games as they can from here on out in order to compete against the number 1 seed Medford here in the GBL. English on the throw-in. A header from Somerville, up and out of bounds yet again. Stoppage time underway. English able to influence it. Trying to get past a few. A few more in front. Ball advances. Players retreating, trying to get there. And Reyes. Her attempt squandered by the Somerville defense. And Beatrix Calvert barking out her orders, trying to get her fellow Highlanders into position. Up and off of Somerville. English to inbound, far side of the field. The throw-in. Halen Romero fighting for it. Fails the first time, still trying to get back in a position. Backed up by Crystal Romero. Long kick across the way. English still playing hard defensively. Pass off to Ayla Valdez. Mahoney takes a swipe and misses. Somerville able to pass one. That attempt stemmed by Romero yet again. Just there in time, Somerville able to salvage the push into English territory. Defenders from English quick to get there and knock that one out, and hopes to allow the Lady Bulldogs to retreat back in a defensive position. And right at the end, bounces off of a Highlander. We'll go to the half mark for the inbound. Going the length of the field and throws it up over everybody. Somerville quick to retreat. Janelise Reyes takes an opportunity to knock it out of bounds. And those are the three whistles. All players to goal keeps. And we'll go wide on the shot. I want to say thanks to our crew for Lynn English for coming out and filming this one with us. Rebecca and Zach up in the perch, bringing you these smooth and steady shots. A tough one for the Lady Bulldogs, walking away with this one with a 5-0 loss. Somerville going to improve to 11-4. Lynn English still working to get in that 2-win category. So still in the hunt for the top seed, Somerville Highlanders. Top player of the game, Shizuko Petrosky-Harris with 2 goals on the day and a suspected third, yet was wrong yet again. Avery Baldwin with 1. Annabelle Schneider with 1, and Camilla Plata. Standout to the game for Lynn English, Halen Romero and Crystal Romero. Defensive effort. Also, obviously, we got to give a shout out to our goalkeeper, Aura Quezada. 5-0 here at the end of this one. English, their next game is going to be versus Classical next week. Somerville hosting Everett later on next week as well. I want to say thanks to our crew from Lynn English, from Lynn Educational Television. I'm Sean Donahue from Manning Field, wishing you all the best.